People kept telling me, "You always seem so happy." And I heard it all the time. But the truth, they had absolutely no idea. I was barely surviving. Depression doesn't always look like crying or sadness or shutting yourself off. It's something that you deal with on the inside because you don't know exactly how to deal with it. You don't know how other people are going to accept you or not if you're going through it. A lot of people may not understand. And I know that a lot of people deal with depression, different forms of it. But for me, depression was way more than just sadness. We all have that gut feeling. We all have that void within us. There's always something that's either brewing up or something you're trying to push down. I had a little bit of both. Um, Sometimes I want to be alone and I want silence. Sometimes I just shut myself off from people. I have a tendency of when I really fall into a major dark place with my depression personally, I end up finding myself not wanting to be around people. I don't network for my business. I don't go to events with friends. I don't go hang out anymore. I used to be very outgoing and I used to love to have fun. I was, that person that I played amateur pool. Like I'm a pool player, been playing since I was about 10 years old and playing tournaments and competitions since I was about 14. Uh, I don't even play that anymore. Dancing. I love to dance. I love music, but it's hard when you are afraid, when you're afraid to have fun because you're worried. When you're afraid to have fun, it makes you feel like you shouldn't be having fun. You're going through something that most people would think, "Oh, depression. She needs to get help. She needs to go talk to somebody. She needs to, you know, do this or do that." But you can't tell one certain person how to deal with depression. That is each individual's own way. I mean, everybody goes through things so differently. No one is exact, no matter what it is. So, you know, having a business and having and going through depression, that's a struggle. It is a very, very, very difficult struggle. Trying to get yourself up to get dressed just to go to do your photo shoot or pulling yourself out of your pajamas and out of your bed because you know that you need to go to this event. It's not easy. And I get it all the time. People run into me, "Oh, girl, you're so happy. Life must be great. Ah, you're so lucky." I am not lucky. Everything that I have worked my ass off for. And I still find myself in a place where I could lose everything in a blink of an eye. You know, with this economy, that's depressing. It makes it hard because my business is a luxury. It's not something that people have to have. Who else goes through that? Who else has trouble getting themselves out of bed? Making yourself take a shower, making yourself get dressed and go to work. As hard as it is, period, dealing with, I don't want to get up early. I don't want to. I don't want to work for someone else. It's too hot outside. I don't want to go. And then you put depression on top of that. And let's just add that I have severe ADHD and OCD, and that doesn't help me at all. That cripples me every day. I'm still here. And here recently, first, before I talk about here recently, let's go back. My depression started years ago. A lot of this will come out in my memoir later this year, but depression started for me as a young mom, a teenage mom. I went through a lot then. I went through a lot during a domestic abusive relationship, the loss of a daughter, the disappointment of marriages that fell apart. But depression stayed with me through all of those things. But I kept going, I kept going, I kept going. I had to keep going. So now depression hit me again a couple of years ago. And I remember I spent, this was a year and a half ago, I spent an entire month of December at home. I didn't leave my house for almost 5 weeks. And when I say I didn't leave my house, I didn't leave my house. I didn't go anywhere. I barely walked outside. I could barely get myself to go sit on a porch with my husband. I stayed in my room for weeks. I'd come out to eat a little bit. I showered here and there, stayed in my pajamas, almost a total of 5 weeks. That was a dark, dark place. My husband pulled me out of that one. But these last couple of months have been very stressful, financially, business-wise, personally. I haven't talked to 2 of my children in over 2 years. Not because I didn't want to. That was a choice of theirs. My children, they have their own issues. They all have their own maturity levels. Some have peaked and some have not. But here's the thing about that. No matter what, I'm still right here where I was when they just left. Stopped calling, stopped texting, stopped caring. That's okay. Does it help my depression? Absolutely not. But the hardest part is I miss my grandkids. But that's okay. That's okay. I know as they get older, they'll have a choice. They'll reach out. But the last couple of months was a completely different kind of depression for me. It was a really, really, really hard one this time. I'm gonna say this is probably the hardest video or episode of the recording that I've ever had to do. Absolute hardest. And I've done TV interviews for my mom's kidnapping case. So this is hard. But I know that if I can get through this and know that maybe it'll help someone else out there, that will help me. I recently had let's just say I wanted to go to sleep and I didn't want to wake up. We'll leave it at that. There was a few of those instances. I did not want to wake up. I didn't want to face this world, this life. I didn't think I could. When people say they're tired, that you think they need sleep. I'm not that kind of tired. I am completely drained. Completely drained. And I just don't know how to get fulfilled again. Like, I'm trying so hard to find my purpose, and everyone has a purpose. God put you on this planet for a reason. You have a purpose. Nobody is a mistake. No one. Everyone is put here because they have a purpose. So many people get lost with their purpose. You have to find it. I'm still trying to find mine, and I'm almost 50 years old. For a long time, I thought my purpose was to give my gift of seeing beauty in others and showing them their beauty, giving them happiness and good thoughts. I thought that was what I was here for. That's why I love to work with women. And when I take their photo and I show it to them and they see themselves in a different way, that's fulfilling for me. I truly enjoy that. So, ladies, please come see me. But I'm starting to think that I've been through every tragedy and every hurdle since I was 2 years old. I was 2 when the first horrible, horrible thing ever happened to me. That's 46 years of terror, abuse, emptiness, neglect, loneliness, fighting to stay alive, losing a child, just struggling to make it, to feed yourself, for shelter, just doing everything you can. I think I was put through all that to put me here, to help you. Sorry, I am. This is not as easy as I thought it would be. I didn't think it'd be easy, but it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. Um, I think that I was put here to help you, to show you that you can go through the shit that I have been through and still be standing on your own 2 feet. No, depression is a hard thing to talk about. But I want you to know that I'm here. I'm right here. You can call me, text me, email me, whatever you want, and I will be here. I will listen. I will give you the best advice that I can possibly give you. I can refer you to people that can help you. But you have to make the first step, and you have to admit that you know. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't realize it. But when you figure that out, that's going to be your first step, is admitting that you are in a state of depression. That's a hard decision. That's a hard thing to do, is admitting it. And the first step is getting help. So I did. I contacted the Andrews Center. You can talk to a local therapist, your preacher, your Sunday school teacher, your best friend's parent, a stranger. Talk to somebody. Don't hold that in, because the longer you hold it in, the worse that it's going to be. I don't want to bore you with too much of my own. I just wanted to give you a brief message that if I can get through this, and you have to understand I've been in the darkest place, that wanting to end your life is a dark, dark place. And it's scary. But it's not what I want. So I have to fight. I have to give everything I have. You do too. If this episode helped even one person, if this episode helped even one person realize they are not alone, then sharing one of the hardest seasons in my life was the right thing to do. Thank you for listening. Remember, real women, real conversations, zero judgment.